What does it really mean to become great? How do you become great? What kind of traits do you need to have? Can anybody become great? If you want to learn more about this and you want to develop your character, stay until the end of the video. Welcome, my name is Gavin. I've been having a lot of fun with these, say real life kind of videos, no more fluffy content. I've been having a lot of fun just thinking about this stuff, being creative, just making what I want to make, and talking about what's really fucking important as far as I see it. Now, this has popped into my head in the last week, thinking about the great people that I look up to, thinking, what does it take to really become great, and kind of analyzing these different figures, and then thinking, like, am I great? Am I like on the path to becoming great? You might not want to be a fucking billionaire. Elon Musk is a great man, but it's not because he's rich. So as always, I'm going to be drawing from my own experience. And as always, this is not for the basic amoebas. So if you can't watch anything for more than 5 minutes, just click off now. Go back to the fucking shorts feed. The first trait that I've noticed about great people, and I saw this just this morning when I was kind of plotting this video, and I saw an interview with LeBron James, and he was in high school at this time. He was like 15, 16 years old, but he was talking like a fully developed man in his 40s, the way that he was thinking. He's obviously great, okay? He's great at what he does. But at this stage in his life, like, he couldn't have known that. He just had an air about him. He knew that he was better than his teammates. When interviewed, he was like, oh, I just tried to bring my teammates into the game. So even though he's great and he had an amazing talent, he had an understanding that he can't win these games alone. And, being a team player is equally as important as having the talent itself. And not a lot of 15 or 16-year-old kids have that level of maturity, or skill. His mind was made up, it seems, at that point, that he was going somewhere. He had a very strong mindset. Another thing that I've noticed about great people is adversity. Now, everybody faces adversity, right? But it's what you do with it. It's how you transmute it. If you can overcome something and turn that into something positive, that's an amazing thing. It's worth noting, I think, that if you want to become great, you have to build your character. I used to have this on the banner of my channel. I've recently switched over to my actual name, Gavin Jacobs, but it used to be Life XP. And on the banner of my channel, I had build your character, up your stats. Now, you have a choice of what you want to become. There's always a choice of what you want to become, right? How you handle your decisions about yourself, but your character will define the sort of person that you are, the sort of things that you wish to stand for, the sort of things that you notice and pay attention to. So building your character is very, very important, and adversity will help build your character like nothing else, as long as you use it as a force for good and you overcome. And being humble is another character trait, and it sort of goes with worldliness, right? Being humble. LeBron James, as I was just saying in that interview, he showed a lot of humility. But there's also things like discernment, being able to discern what's what in the world around you, your decision making. Also, another thing that I've noticed about great people is that they are fucking calm. Like, they are rock solid calm. Like, in a hurricane of whatever can be happening in life, they remain calm, like unmovable, like a rock. You can look at anyone who you consider to be great and you're going to see that. Something else which I find interesting is that, you know, along with being great, it's like there's always an activity that draws out the greatness. Now, it might become apparent as like a talent, or, you know, for Michael Jordan or LeBron, it was basketball. They used that to channel their energies. For Dave Chappelle, it was comedy. For Muhammad Ali, boxing. There's always an original activity that everything stems from, where they learn things about themselves, where things unfold and they put themselves in uncomfortable positions, you know, arduous training and effort. And then you couple that with everything else, the adversity, having to overcome things, that drive, that calm. You've got a fucking recipe for dynamite. Also, something else that I've noticed is great people are adaptive. Like they can maneuver in and out of any situation and adapt. They don't hit like a level. And I've discovered this, okay, through hip hop, because those of you who have been following the channel for some time, I'm really into hip hop and like lyricism, and I look at the great lyricists. Now, what people would say, if you say like, give me your top 5, they'll say things like Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, right? Now, all of those men are great. They were great at what they do, but they hit a ceiling in terms of their level and their skill, and that is where they stayed, okay? But the GOATs, the greatest of all time, they keep working. They're not like, they hit a ceiling and they just fucking break through until they hit another ceiling and then break through. If you look at people like Eminem, Royce the 5'9", Crooked Eye, Black Thought, Kendrick Lamar, they're constantly shifting. Every time they touch the pen or they release a project, it's something new. It's a different angle. It's something they haven't done before. You can see this as well in actors, incredibly adaptive. The best actors are the most versatile, that play a variety of characters. They'll do anything to fit that character mold, like fucking, what is it? You know, method acting. If you look at people like Christian Bale in The Machinist, where he got down to like nearly death type of weight to play that character. People like Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, incredibly versatile. These are great, great men. Also, what you'll find about great people is that they stand on a set of principles. Now, you can look at like Martin Luther King or like Muhammad Ali. In my opinion, he was great, okay? But he became more great by like the level, you know, he came at a time where people needed a voice, right? People needed to believe, and he was all about, he inspired and lifted people up when they really fucking needed it. And he became an idea, like more than boxing. That's a trait that I've noticed as well, is that these people stand on a set of principles. If you look at Dave Chappelle, in the height of his fame, like basically the company that he was working with trying to fucking bend him over basically and get him to do shit that he didn't want to do. He turned down a $50 million contract and just fucking dropped off the map. I think he went to live in South Africa. Like the level of, you know, honor and standing on your principles, that is like, that's fucking right up there. I respect the shit out of that. And then look at what happens. He comes back fucking 10 years later or whatever, drops the funniest shit ever. He's got classic Netflix specials. And it's like he never left. He is greater than he's ever been. He also has all those other character traits, right? Worldliness, calmliness. He's humble as fuck. Like, he is a people person. It's like he sees panoramically like everything, but he doesn't waver in what he believes. He's like a rock. It made me think recently because I was going past a bus stop a few days back, and I saw a McDonald's advert, and Stormzy, if you're from the UK, you'll probably be more familiar with Stormzy than if you're from somewhere else in the world. I'm not sure his level of fame, but there's a Stormzy McDonald's meal, right? And that, to be honest, it upset me because he is, you know, I'm talking like I'm a fucking black dude, but I'm not. I just have an understanding of things. He is a black spokesman, okay? People look up to him. A lot of his listeners, like pop music listeners, they're under 18 years old. So the people that follow and listen to Stormzy, they're kids, essentially. And he is promoting McDonald's. I spoke to my fiance about this, and she was like, yeah, but how much is he getting paid? And I was like, yeah, but that's not really the fucking point. Dave Chappelle can walk away from 50 million to stand on his beliefs, and Stormzy's taking a paycheck from McDonald's they've given him his own fucking meal. That, don't get me wrong as well, like, I love McDonald's like the next person. I don't fucking eat it all the time. I haven't had McDonald's for like months. But the point is that I would never promote it for people to eat, because I know it's fucking terrible for you. Like, you could not pay me, I don't care what anyone says, you could not pay me an amount of money to promote a McDonald's meal. That is like, he dropped some points, okay? Now, I know that he's just trying to provide for his family and he has a right to get paid. But in terms of like standing on your beliefs and principles and morals, he dropped some points with me that day. And now he's like, he needs to build up again, in my opinion, to have my respect. You sort of, you know, I don't know Stormzy, you know, I don't. So I'd love to know his reasons for it. But it struck a chord with me, like what people are prepared to do. How can Dave Chappelle turn down 50 million for not having control of what he wanted to make, or a company trying to tell him what to make, and then Stormzy just take a fucking paycheck? It's got to be in the 6 figures, 7 figures to promote something for McDonald's. Like, it just, I was astounded. So for me, like, being great is about standing for something. It's about being and standing firm, rock solid on your beliefs and your fucking principles. It's about overcoming anything that you have to, really, to achieve something that is bigger than you. Anybody can become great, okay? Like, you may not be a millionaire, but the average working class slave, right, as you would see it, working class man, he might not be that enterprising, okay? He might fail financially every single day, but he might still make an incredible amount of sacrifices to be a father for his kids, or to lift up and inspire people in his community. He can still be fucking great. You know, a homeless guy can overcome addiction and turn his whole life around and turn that into a positive and help other people. You know, anybody can become great if you channel and transmute that. It's mental alchemy, right? If you can overcome these things and turn them into positive, that's fucking great. The question is, what do you want to stand for? What do you want to represent? And how do you want to be remembered? Guys, remember, it's your God-given right to be successful, and it's your responsibility to reach your potential.